Hello there and good evening. Thank you very much for joining us once again on City TV. This is your favorite all-women talk show, Sister Sister. And when you see me, chances are, it's just time for that show. We've got about 60 minutes to cover your relationship stories and, share our opinions really on what's going on in your life. And every now and again, you do need that one person, at least, to bounce, some of the issues that crop up, in your marriages and your relationships, etc. And this show provides that platform. I have ladies joining me every Thursday night, or depending on when, of course, you're watching this playback, just to talk about you, to share their opinions on what could be better, what could be going wrong, etc., etc. Of course, the final decision always lies with you. This show is brought to you by Frytol. Remember, it's the only cooking oil in Ghana that's endorsed by the Ghana Medical Association. It's plant-based and it's cholesterol-free, filled with vitamins A, exactly what you need to be using to cook for your family that you so care about. And especially with Christmas around the corner, you also want to be looking out for the brand new bottle. Frytol bottle, you'll be impressed with it. There's Frytol, and also our set is brought to us by Ebby May Interiors. You can log on to ebbymay.org, check out what they have to offer. They have quite a bit for your homes, your offices, etc. My name is Jessica, though, and the show is interactive. So we receive messages live on the show, and we share our 2 cents on it. Let me give you ways to interact with us. You can send a quick email to Jessica, JESSICA, at cityfmonline.com, or you can send a quick WhatsApp message to 054-998-6996. Let's hear what's on your mind. What's bugging you? What do you need a second opinion on? Your sisters are here for you today. I'll be introducing them to you shortly, but before then, let's go for a quick message from our sponsor.
Enjoy great tasting meals with Frytol, the cholesterol-free cooking oil, fortified with vitamin A and endorsed by the Ghana Medical Association. Frytol, love your food, love your life. This advert has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Welcome back, Sister Sister on City TV and 97.3 City FM. Remember, you can also download the City News app on your Google Play Store or in your Apple Store, and you can listen to City FM wherever you are in the world, or even watch us on City TV. We make life a lot more easier for you. Let's say hello to the ladies in the studio with me tonight, and of course, Made is back for a triple dose. Good to see you, girl.
Hi, Jess.
Charlie, I'm loving your eyeshadow against
Thank
the
you.
matching earrings and
Yes.
things. What's going on?
Oh, nothing much.
Yeah, had a good week.
Fantastic.
Good to know. Good to
Yeah,
know.
thank you.
Good to know. Olivia's also here tonight.
Hi.
Charlie, you're in the mood for Christmas, so what's going on?
I'm excited.
Obviously.
I'm super grateful to God. The whole year just went by so quickly, and finally Christmas is just around the corner, and that's it's a time of love and gratitude and everything. And I'm the only one who can rock a Christmas decoration like I do.
I agree. Totally. Totally. The family's fine though?
Everybody's fine. Thank you.
Tina,
Hi.
is the family fine?
Yes, I'm in love.
We are okay.
Oh,
Hello.
Oh,
You did
what's
not tell me
I said I'm in love.
with Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay. That much we already know.
Yeah.
That's
What's
something
new?
we don't know.
Yeah.
Charlie,
yeah.
good to see you, man.
to see you.
As always.
Yeah.
So let's start. Yeah, we've got quite a number of messages coming through today. And I'll start, of course, whilst we wait for live messages on the show. We'll start with some of those that we weren't able to deal with last week. So here we go. It says, I'm in love with my teacher. My name is Zia. I'm an SHS student who is just madly in love with my science teacher. We've been together for almost 2 years, and I believe he's my soulmate. However, he has a wife and 2 children, and he's 20 years older than me. The age to me is not the problem, but his wife and kids are. Sisters, I want him for myself. Can you advise me on what to do?
Yeah, stay away. No, it's almost like she knows that it's so wrong, but yet she wants this guy. He's how many years older than you
20.
are? And you know he's married, he's got kids. Like, really?
They've been together for 2 years.
And you're so young, 2 years. You've allowed yourself to be manipulated by this guy while you're happy to be in the relationship. He is supposed to be older and wiser, and clearly he's not doing what he's supposed to do. He goes, has a good time with you, and then goes back to his wife and kids. Girl, ain't no way he's gonna leave his wife and kids for you. He's probably thinking you're super convenient for him. Wake up and smell the roses. Haven't you seen those videos that ran wild and viral? Those really, really bad ones, the stool ones, and those not. Like, I'm so disgraced to even, like, embarrassed, not disgraced, embarrassed to talk about that. But it's normal for you to be attracted to your teacher. I mean, I remember when secondary school time, there's always this, it was a girls' school, there's always this guy who comes around doing his national service. He dresses really nicely, he speaks nicely, and all the girls...
My social studies teacher.
Hardly, you see, girls hardly ever find guys like that who are young and, you know, look trendy, he smells good and everything. So it's normal to be attracted by somebody like that. It's normal. But really, that's where it should end.
Yeah.
You have your whole life ahead of you. Trust me. You would wake up one day and realize, oh my goodness, you know, what did I do? And life is too precious. Trust me, he's using you. I don't think you should be in that relationship. If he values you, he wouldn't treat you like that. You're supposed to be like his younger sister, for crying out loud. No, don't be in that
His
relationship.
daughter says he's 20.
Yeah.
20 years older, I mean.
Yeah,
You
20
can
years
give birth to
older.
it, Charlie.
Yeah, he could have. And he's doing you, and it's not right.
Yeah.
I mean, you should be reporting him to your mom, but you like it. So it's not right. Just in case you don't know, it's not right, and you don't want to be in a relationship like that.
Well, for me, the fact that she's in SHS means that she's under 18.
Yes, most likely.
Okay, most likely. So, what's the
It's
age of
illegal.
consent?
18.
Okay, so that means it's actually rape, what he's doing.
Statutory, yeah.
Yeah, and he's sleeping with somebody who's young enough to be his daughter. He obviously doesn't love you. He has a wife. He's never going to leave his wife. He's never going to leave his kids. And for you to sit down and think that he's going to do that, he will never do that. For me, she just needs to concentrate on her studies and she needs to walk away. This man is... He's not going to take you anywhere. He's not going to... What is he going to do for you? He's just abusing her. And for me, I think it's so sad when sometimes our girls get into situations like that where they think that the men love them, you know, because the men are sleeping with them. And having sex doesn't equal love. And some of these girls, they don't know this. But for me, she needs to walk away, report him to whoever she needs to report him to, be it the police or some other authority, another teacher or somebody. But to me, he seems like somebody who's abusing his position, and he is most likely doing it to other girls in her year or in her class. So she's probably not the only one.
So I don't think this is one of many stories, and she probably watches or listens to the show, and so has the access to ask questions. And it's dicey how we treat this, because young girls are from different backgrounds, and depending on the way or the tone you speak to them, they either take it or they take it in a different way. So I don't know what her background is, but I'm hoping that you've heard two different sides, strong, soft, whatever it is. You should know that it's okay to have crushes when you're young, but treat them as crushes. Once you involve yourself in it, once you're having sex with your teacher, it becomes very difficult to make a good choice, or it blurs your decision making. So now you want him all to yourself. Think about it. He's 20 years older than you. He has kids. He's probably been in his marriage 5 years or more. Okay? He's had cycles of students come through the SHS you are in. So sit down, take a deep breath and think about it. You are probably not the only one. You've had seniors who have gone ahead before you, who have had a relationship with this man. And you will definitely leave the school and continue life. And when you're continuing life, there are other students who are coming behind you. Now, when you're growing up, you would see that there's more to life than getting stuck with a man who already has a life with someone. There are men out there who actually have a bright future that you can do something with and you can build a life with. So instead of you to be stuck on an old man, and I'll call him an old man because of the age difference that you gave to us, don't throw your life away. It's difficult because you've been involved with him for 2 years. So you probably need to just take a step back and rethink the whole thing. Think about the possibilities, the kinds of things. He sleeps with his wife. He hasn't stopped sleeping with his wife. Be angry about that. You're not the only woman. Be angry about the fact that you can't have him. You can't make your relationship public. Get upset about something and then start valuing yourself and then retreat. Because if you don't start from somewhere, you would be stuck. And then what else? You will finish school. Definitely. And then that's it. Okay? So please treat yourself with respect. Treat yourself with love. Love yourself enough not to engage with your school teacher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and also think about it. I mean, we're your big sisters at this point. We finished secondary school a couple of years ago. And we know exactly what we're talking about. I mean, how many of us ended up with the boys we were in love with in school? In fact, especially secondary school, even university. Sometimes you don't even end up with that person you dated, you know? How much more secondary school? Very few.
I had a crush on some guy, and I actually, that was my whole world.
Charlie, you thought he was the bee's knees.
And you know, I'm just sitting here. I saw the guy on Facebook sometime, what happened? You know, you're like, sweethearts, if you look back, if you spend your life like 10 years along the line, looking back, you will regret. So just disengage now.
I agree. Take it from us. We've all been there. You know, I used to have a crush on my social studies teacher. You know why? Apart from the fact that he was handsome, I loved the way he said Africa. I swear to you, I lived for it. Every class, I'll be waiting for him to say Africa. I told him about it recently. We had a good laugh because I found him on Facebook. But yeah, you know, these things are supposed to be, as Olivia said, for most of us, it's happened. Well, you have a crush on some teacher of yours because he's young, he smells great. He's different from the small boys in your class who will be pulling your chair.
We're always looking ahead, isn't it?
You know what I mean? So there's that, but that's what it remains, just like a crush. It's a girl crush, and then you just sort of move on, and that's it, you know. So take our advice there, and we wish you the best of luck. We hope that you would take the right decision after listening to this interaction. It's Sister on 97.3 City FM and City TV, and your comments are still welcome on 054 998 6996. A message here says, "Hi, Jessica and her sisters. My name is Chioma, I think it is, from Nigeria, who used to be a stripper at a strip club here in Ghana. I used the money from stripping to take care of my university tuition at the University of Ghana, Legon. I've been with this guy for a year now. He's promised to marry me. However, he has no knowledge about my past as an exotic dancer. I've been blackmailed into having sex with one of the senior workers at the club. He says the day I stop having sex with him, he will expose me to my soon-to-be husband. Sisters, I can't tell him about my past. Please help." Sad.
Well, I think that you've been given no choice. If you continue on this tangent of sleeping with the person at the club, he will definitely leave you. You've been backed into a corner. And for me, don't ever allow anybody to blackmail you. Take your destiny into your own hands and tell him yourself. He's either going to leave you or he'll stay. You can't choose what he's going to do, but take your destiny into your own hands and tell him yourself. What's the worst that he can do? He will leave, but you'll still live. you'll definitely find somebody else. But sleeping with the other man just to keep him quiet is a no-no. He'll still go out and tell.
Yeah.
So,
He will tell.
he's definitely going to go out and tell. And he's probably going to tell other people, and they'll start blackmailing you too. Are you going to sleep with all these men? So for me, it's a no-no. Please go and tell your man yourself, and then put a stop to it.
I agree with Made, but you see, there's nothing wrong. You weren't prostituting yourself. You were dancing on a pole. Maybe at that particular time in your life, there was nothing else to do. And this is the real world. People do all sorts of things, either good or bad, just to get by. And if you're dancing on a pole to earn money because of the situation, and so what? You know, you find there's some guys who really don't care. And that it's not like that's what you're currently doing anyway. That was in your past. Like we said some months back on this show, you're better off letting whoever it is that you're inviting into your life, letting them know what has taken place in your past. You're better off telling them yourself than them finding out from somebody else. So really, if this guy really is into you, he loves you and everything, tell him, this is what I used to do in the past to get by. And find out from him what he thinks. Don't get blackmailed, because right now I feel like you're compounding your problem by even sleeping with this other guy. Yeah. I feel like that's even worse than you just dancing. Because right now you actually need to go a step further to tell him that you were blackmailed. And I don't even think that he's going to get angry about you dancing on the pole as much as he'll get angry about the fact that you slept with some other guy because you were trying to hide the truth from him. Yeah. So sometimes in life it's hard. It's easier said than done, but sometimes it's good to just brace yourself and deal with the situation head on. If it's a relationship, you don't want it to start and it to be based on lies. You need to come clean, let him know that this is what you used to do. Really, you need to do it ASAP. Find that moment and tell him that this is what you used to do, and you don't want him hearing from anybody else, and that this is what it is. And you would be truthful to yourself and truthful to him, and at least you'll find out, you know, whether he's really into you. If he's into you, he'll stay. If he's not, he'll move on. At least you have yourself back and your dignity back, and then whoever, that guy would have no control or no power over you. Take yourself and take charge of your life. That's what I think. And in your next relationship, assuming that this one doesn't work out, in your next relationship, please, by all means, that should be one of the first things you should tell the person, so that you know whether you're moving on or you're not.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was with Olivia till the last one.
Okay.
So what it is for me is that I preach, give information on a need-to-know basis. But if the information is such that it's very grave and it will affect the relationship that you are in, by all means, lay your cards on the table, especially when it's leading to marriage.
Right.
Okay. So when you see that things are getting serious, or you've been proposed to, or whatever, I think there's the time where, like the sisters have said, you should tell your husband or your husband to be. You don't, for these reasons, you don't want him to be walking around with and people make him a laughing stock when he doesn't even know what is actually going on. So the whole world knows that you have been in this position before, and the one true man that you are sharing a bed with doesn't know this.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's unfair to him. Then secondly, he's probably laid all his cards on the table. He's come clean with whatever, and then you are working. It will be something hanging over your head, and you're always not at peace with yourself, because then if something serious happens, you're wondering if, okay, did someone tell him? Did someone do this? Did someone do that? As much as it's in your power, make sure that he knows, even if you have to edit it enough to suit the situation. I mean, you need to talk to him and say that this is what I did. Even if it's very nasty, say it. And you're done. What's the worst? Like they said, he will walk in, he will leave. If he leaves, that's not the end of the world. it's not easy to pass through such an experience. But that thing that we say that whatever we do lifts after us or comes back to us, it's actually very true. So the consequences we must bear. And right now, this is what you're faced with. So by all means, don't make a laughing stock of your husband to be. Please.
Okay, so what do you ladies think, though, about, you know how, okay, so maybe she tells the guy, he forgives her, they get married, and then it's always a reference point in their marriage. There's that too.
That's the scary part of the whole thing, because men actually almost, or even generally
Just humans
never totally get over situations like that. True. And if, let's say, something happens and she's standing in some corner with some guy, how do I even know that you didn't go there and go and straight for the guy and all that? There's a tendency to do that, but we have to take the risk.
This is where I will tell, assuming that I were to be in that situation, this is where I'll tell the person, this is what I used to do, and I need you to know, because that's the truth. That was the life I used to live. And in moving forward, I've told you in so much confidence and whatever, but in moving forward, and I don't expect you to use that against me. So now, here and now, if you feel that it's something you can't live with and you would continuously refer me to, then I don't think that's a relationship I want to be in. You need to be upfront sometimes, so that whenever the person decides to embark on that journey with you, they're genuine and they're never referring you to your past. Once they want to refer to the past, I mean, too bad, have a nice life. And really, personally, dancing on a pole doesn't mean she was prostituting herself. Do you see what I mean? There's a difference. She was dancing on a pole. Let her dance. I mean, who doesn't want a good dancer in bed? Like there's good sides and bad sides.
But of course not.
but you never know. Some men might find that you could use that to actually keep your man to your advantage. I don't see how terrible that is.
One thing we seem to forget is our culture. Dancing on a pole in public for men to see, I mean, it's not accepted. And I know where Olivia's going, but in our culture, we do not accept that thing. That dancing on a pole in public is the same as prostitution. We know the difference. But once you say I was dancing on a pole in a strip club, you were sleeping with men. That's all there is to it. That's the four corners of the thing. And it's going to be very hard for him to accept that she was not sleeping with men. Because once she was naked on a pole, that's it. And he may have accepted it if she was only doing it for him. But the fact that it was in public I think what is probably going to be the deal breaker. And I mean, she's just got, like, if she's going to try and make it work, she is probably going to be referenced to it. And that's probably going to be her lot. And they probably have to work through it. But I think most times if your man is accepting of those kind of things or not. Some guys are open-minded, some guys are not. And I think what she's scared of is that the fact that she knows that the guy is not going to accept that she was a pole dancer. She knows.
That's probably why she wrote the show.
Yeah, she knows. Yeah. So for me, I would just break off with him and just you know.
Well, I mean, we've all laid our cards on the table, you know, and I think the rest is really up to you. But the truth is, even if he accepts you, and you guys get married, just keep it at the back of your mind that there may be one day or another that, you know, he'll get mad and it'll come up, and you need to constantly work to reassure him that that was in your past, you know, and also let him know that maybe you don't appreciate being referenced because you're no longer that person. But one thing you should know is it will take constant work in your relationship to make it, you know, thrive. So we wish you the best of luck, Chioma, and thank you very much for sending that message. We'll go for a quick commercial break, and when we return, we'll be reading more of your messages. It's Sister Sister on City TV and 97.3 City FM.
Enjoy great tasting meals with Frital, the cholesterol-free cooking oil, fortified with vitamin A and endorsed by the Ghana Medical Association. Frital, love your food, love your life. This outfit has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Watch out for 12 Days of Giftmas on City TV. This Christmas, City TV is looking for well-deserved heroes to celebrate. You know, those people who live amongst us who are dedicated to making life a little more bearable for others. Do you know anyone whose love for their community and selfless actions are making an impact in health, education, community development, and other areas? Nominate them today and tell us why they deserve to be celebrated. Send an email to promo@omnimediagh.com or WhatsApp 0550-585832. Log on to citynewsroom.com for more details. It's 12 Days of Giftmas on City TV. This is for the heroes who have not been celebrated enough. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back to Sister Sister on City TV and 97.3 City FM. Remember, your comments are still welcome to the show on anything you may have heard, or perhaps you have a question yourself, something may be going on currently in your relationship that you need a second opinion on. We'll be more than happy to weigh in on the matter. Our WhatsApp number 054-998-6996, or send a quick email to jessica@cityfmonline.com. A message here says, "Dear sister, I had slept with my husband's very good friend on the night we were both drunk. On my part, it was a mistake, but he seems to have enjoyed it and keeps coming back. He makes advances all the time. Sisters, worst of all is I'm pregnant and I don't know who the father is. Please help."
Very common.
Did you say very common? Mm-hmm. Is it? Mm-hmm. Hey, what's happening?
Really?
I mean, yeah.
It is.
It is.
People are so many people are pregnant
Yes.
and they don't know whether it's
Wow.
for their husband or it's for their husband's friend.
Wow.
What's going on?
It's sad though.
It's the
I
world
don't know. I watch a program called Paternity Court. I don't know if you've seen that.
No.
Okay, I watch it. It's on YouTube. It's based in the States, and it's basically people who are disputing the
Paternity.
yeah,
of the
paternity
children.
of the children. And some of the stories that you hear are horrific, absolutely horrific. And there was one, they tested 13 men, and she still didn't find out who the father was.
No.
I'm telling you, and there was like so many different, I watch it every day, like that's my addiction. Every morning I wake up, I watch it. And like some of the stories that you hear, they're married women, single women, like, you know, some of them do turn out all right. Like some of the fathers are just disputing because they don't want to look after the children, and they find out, yeah, they are the fathers. But some of the things that happen, you know, out there, it is so common. It is so common. And really and truly, we women, we're the ones who have control over who are our children's fathers. You know, we have control over that. That's one thing that men don't have over us.
Yeah.
You know, we get to say who are the fathers. And I mean, like she's saying that it was a one-time thing.
Yeah.
Or was,
Yeah.
Say he
It
keeps
seems
coming,
like,
keeps
but
coming.
you know, because it happened for her, she knew it was a genuine mistake. They were drunk, but friend keeps coming back, and she's pregnant as well. Doesn't know who it's for.
for me, she's going to have to go and do a DNA test with that child.
At some point, yeah.
She's definitely going to have to do it. I don't know if they do it. I know they do DNA tests in Ghana, but I know that from that show that I watch, they do something called pre-birth something, where they basically take your blood and they isolate the baby's cells or something like that, and then they can take the DNA and check who the father is.
Before the child is born.
Yeah, before the
Oh,
child
right.
is born. I don't know if they do that here, but they do that in the States. And they're able to ascertain who the father is. I think for her, she needs to man up and go and do a test. If she doesn't want to tell her husband, she needs to go and do a test with this man, you know, before she tells her husband, because this sounds like a marriage breaker.
She sounds screwed either way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally.
I'm sorry, but I know I always do that, but because I don't know what else to say or what else to do. You made a mistake the first time, and yes, but you kept allowing him to come in.
No.
It was one time.
It was
She
one
said,
time.
No, but I
once,
think he
drunken
keeps
moment.
he keeps
He's the one who keeps
Excuse
like
me.
because he obviously.
Yeah,
enjoyed
he
it.
had a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're screwed, whatever it is. Yeah, go have a DNA test and then tell. I just feel sorry for your husband. I really feel sorry for your husband. But whatever it is, you're screwed. It's you. It was a sad mistake, but you have to live. That's life for you. You make decisions, whether good or bad, and you have to live with the consequences. So I'm sorry, it's a cup of tea. I know I sound mean and rude, and not helpful right now, but the earlier you do it, the better, because you know there are all these stories coming out about footballers and then their wives and, you know, not knowing who the real fathers are. You don't want to lead the man on and continue to deceive. He's an innocent man, your husband. Excuse me. So you don't want to do that. So as soon as possible, find out what's up and deal with it.
I don't think that process for DNA before birth is available in Ghana. What we have available is the one after birth. So unless you want to gamble, I don't know how far along you are in the pregnancy. Whether it's very early, you want to save your marriage, you don't want to save your marriage. It's a tough decision to make. It's either you keep the pregnancy or not. Because not knowing who the father is, and if it's not early, you may have a chance to get rid of it. Then you don't have any child to now think about who the father is. But if you want to gamble, go through the whole term, and then after 9 months, and let the baby grow a bit before you now do DNA.
When she gives birth, the baby,
And then
baby looks
what
like,
if the spitting
Yeah.
image of your friend? I mean, it's a bit dicey. See, unless you don't have a strong marriage and you're actually looking for a way out.
Doesn't sound like it.
See, if you're not far along, I don't think you should.
I mean, but how will she explain to her husband that?
No, but
you know,
he doesn't. I don't think he knows.
You
He
know,
probably doesn't know at this
doesn't
point.
know.
But even
she's
if he
pregnant.
knows, there are things that
can lose
happen that you can lose a baby, really.
I know, but like, can you imagine they've been struggling to have a
To have a
baby,
child.
and this is the first time that
Yeah.
she's gotten pregnant, and she's now.
But what
going
if
to
they've
decide-
even gone to do a test and then they are yet to receive the results, and the guy, if they've been looking for a baby for a long time, and the guy doesn't give birth, so now she's pregnant, and then the
He's
result
infertile.
comes, and then he's infertile. Can you imagine like what it is? I think it's
Better to get rid of it.
no. Depending on what it is, if it's not far along, I don't know what I will do, but I think.
Just
Do
get
you know
rid of
something?
that baby and.
Well, do you know something? Maybe do you know something? It doesn't. If she wanted to get rid of it, she wouldn't be writing in.
Yeah.
So for me, it sounds like she doesn't want to, and I mean, who really wants to do that? I would say, since she doesn't want to do it, because she's going to live with a lot of guilt afterwards.
Yeah.
For me personally, I would, for her, would go through with it, and whatever you deal with, you have to deal with. You know,
Yeah.
somebody's going to be a father of that child.
Yeah.
You know,
But
so-
what if the friend too is married and it's a big mess.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's
a big
it's
mess.
it's
So
a
much
lot.
to deal with.
You know, so sometimes when you're doing things, you need to think about
Yeah.
it. You know, and I don't understand. You know, you were married, and you go and do this. You don't even take precautions. You just go in there and just.
So
you
let
know.
me
Yeah.
actually say this. A lot of married people, when they involve themselves with other married people, they actually don't take precaution because they feel
They feel
like
like
we're
we're
all
not-
married.
yeah.
So let me just do anything, and that's what ends up in all these messes. So I feel like our society is gradually turning into something else that we won't recognize in the next 5 years, because then everything is okay to do. So it may be starting with you, if you actually find a solution or maybe not find a solution, just stop it.
I think it depends largely on her circumstances, because like as Made said, if say, maybe even if she has kids already, the story could be different. If this is your first and probably only child after several tries, you know, your story would be different.
That's too many.
Yeah, it's like damn if you do, damn if you don't.
You don't.
This is probably one of the toughest questions we've had on the show today.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what kind of advice you're looking for. You know,
it's hard.
Yeah,
You should go through with
It's
this
hard.
For me, I think that there's a few DNA centres out there. I think she should inquire about
see
that.
what
and see what of service they
options,
can offer her. I think that would be her first port of call.
Yes.
Yeah.
Check. So if the kids for your husband, then no need to stress anymore.
And if the kids for the other guy,
then that's where you start getting grey hair prematurely.
and especially if you don't believe in abortions and stuff, you can't. And the baby
There's-
didn't also ask to be here.
There's a fertility place that also does these DNA things. They were the first ones who did sickling elimination, so that if you are both AS, they can
That you have a
do the
healthy
whole
baby,
yes. So it's on the Spintex Road.
Okay.
I forget the name. If I remember, we'll text it to you.
Yeah.
So that you can,
You can just go and check.
try it.
Yeah,
and see.
that's a good place to start.
Yeah.
So, dear lady, we wish you the best of luck. We really do. A message here says, "Hello, sisters. I am a 30-year-old woman who recently got married to the love of my life. I didn't disclose to him that I had an 11-year-old son. I lied my son was my little brother, and now I am in a fix. I need to tell him the truth, but I am scared that he would leave me."
Oh my goodness. It's just like the earlier submission we had, the one that we're talking about the stripper and all of that. You see, something like this, you cannot you cannot keep to yourself and not tell somebody you're looking to live with. It's your son, your blood. You know, sometimes I feel that, like, we as young women, we're so desperate to get married that anybody who comes around because they want to marry us, we want to show them our really good side. We're superwoman. We've got it all sorted out. We're the best thing that could ever happen to you. But really, sometimes mistakes do happen. And sometimes you have to live with those mistakes. And you decided to have the child. And I always say that children don't ask to be here. You know, and if you had that child, he's your child, and you need to let your husband know. It's sad that you had to wait this long, marry him before you're now deciding on telling him. However you want to look at it, I think you have to tell him. Tell him and live with the consequences. Either that or your next bet is not to tell him. And trust me, if you don't tell him, that child is going to grow up and hate you. Because one, you're not going to open up your doors to him. Where's he living to start with? Because right now it sounds like you're married, you know, you're probably in your own home. So who's taking care of this child? What crime has he actually committed to feel like that? You're probably going to be leaving him with your sister, your aunties, your uncles. And really, you don't, I wouldn't like to feel like that. And he's your child. Tell this man. And it's sad that you didn't, I wish that you had asked us this question before you got married, because then I would have encouraged you to, by all means, tell your husband to be. Because I know of someone who married a lady with a child. He didn't care about the fact that she's got a child, and the lady actually had a son. And today I was at the wedding. It's not like Obise. I was actually at the wedding, and they're so madly in love. And he's married to her, and life continues. He doesn't even. The son is like his child. There's some men who are really good men and who don't care if he had a child or not, because mistakes do happen. Yeah. So really, I would have encouraged you to tell him. But how it stands, I will still encourage you. You need to tell him. He has every right to know, especially because of that child. Because that child, it wasn't the mistake of that child. And that child needs to be brought into an environment whereby there's love and all of that. So by all means, please do tell him. But you need to appreciate the fact that he's not going to take it lightly. He's going to be hurt. He's going to look at you, from the day you tell him, he's going to look at you differently. It will take time for him to accept that you lied to him. And he's a man. He's going to ask you what other things
you're hiding
and what else does he need to know. And all of that is unnecessary stress, especially between the first few years of marriage. Trust me, people who even get married the first few years without issues need to find time to get to know themselves. They need to fight. They need to agree to disagree. And even that, the first 5 years is a bit rocky. And you're bringing this on board. Ooh, girl, good luck. That's all I can say.
So this question is quite close to me because from what it sounds like, she had her child when she was young. Sounds like 30,
She's
11.
30, yeah.
So
Yeah.
11, so probably about 19.
Yeah.
So I had a child when I was young. I was 20. So I'm in my 40s now. But my daughter, she's 22. She's my buddy, Like if you see her, you think that she's my sister.
True.
And hi, Chris. But I understand what she was going through because, when I was having my child, it wasn't easy. I didn't grow up in Ghana. I grew up in the UK, and I think people were more accepting of younger people having children out of wedlock. And I think my parents weren't happy about it, but they were supportive. And I think sometimes, when I found that when I did come to Ghana with her, people were like, oh, why don't you say that she's your younger sister? Because I used to get that a lot. So funny enough, I had a young sister who was, I think, 6 years older than my daughter. So they used to call themselves sisters. So everybody used to say, Zara's younger sister. Zara's younger sister. So up to now, people think that they're sisters.
Wow.
But I understand what she's saying because people are very critical. I mean, I had relatives. I had my mum's sister who used to go around calling me, hey, born one, nobody will marry you. That kind of thing. Yes. So I understand what she's saying. But if I didn't have the support of my parents, I wouldn't have, been the way I was today. Maybe, for me, I've always known that getting married is my choice. If I want to marry, I'll marry. If I want to go out with somebody, I'll go out. It's not my self-worth is not held in to marriage or to a man. It's within me. But I think sometimes as well, as what I think I've brought this subject up before, you go to church. Everything's for married people. Single people, when they're doing things, oh no, it's for married people. When I wanted to christen my daughter, I was told that I cannot christen her in church because I'm a single mother.
Wow.
They'll come to my house and come and christen her in the house.
No way.
Yes, because I was a single mother. So and I said, no,
Wow.
it's okay, it's all right. You keep your church, it's okay. And I eventually did go to another church, and they did baptize her in church for me. Oh. But I think that I understand what she's saying because of the way our society is about this marriage thing. They heap marriage on your head like it's the ultimate crown. You can't live if you don't get married. And I think it's so bad.
And misleading.
It is. Yeah. It's heartbreaking that people think that they won't have a life without marriage. And people have very fulfilling lives without marriage.
I have a question for you. So at any point in time, did you ever feel the need to deny the existence of your daughter?
Never.
Just to get into a relationship?
Never. I've been so proud of my daughter. Everybody who meets me knows that I've got an older daughter. If you see her now, she looks nothing like me, but you'll never think that she's my daughter. You think that she's my
I've
sister.
Seen pictures of her.
You've seen her, yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, so, I've never felt the need to deny it. Look, I went back to the UK just recently in my schoolmates, like a couple of them are
now with babies. They're grandmothers.
Yes. And I was we saw each other, and I was laughing at them because, some of them's like, oh, gosh. What I didn't, what happened to me. I didn't want it to happen to my child, but, hey, you just take it like that.
Yeah.
And they're helping out their kids too. I mean, I don't want that for myself because I know it was a bit hard. But I think that we need to stop stigmatizing people who are single or single mothers. It happens out there. It happens a lot more than we think. And it doesn't help. We're going to hide the children. Oh, that's my niece, or that's my nephew, or it's my, that's my younger brother. People do that a lot, and it's not right. You know, so I think it only takes maybe the elders in our society say, it is like, it's happened, it's okay. You know, these people are human beings. They will grow up as well. So I understand what she's saying. It's not right, and I don't think the man's going to take too kindly to it either.
You know the interesting thing, though, and sorry, not to, but the people who used to look down on you when you had a child that young are the same people who admire you now because your child is grown up.
Yeah, my daughter,
you know,
she's grown up. She's been to university. She's got a fantastic job, and she's living her best life every day. I'm in Mexico. I'm here.
Imagine that.
And I don't have to even give her any money. Like, which is I love it.
That's heaven.
I don't have to give her any money. When I went to UK recently, I went through her makeup box. I took hair. I took weave on.
Really?
I took makeup. And like, you know, like I took stuff off her, you know, so you know, I was loving it. So
Tina.
So I was going to deal with it from the angle of marriage. When you're going to do even the customary marriage, there's something called knocking. That's the initial stages of the marriage, and that's where the two families actually declare everything about each other. So they tell you, that's where they begin to say, oh, do you have any sickness in your family? Do you have madness, traits of whatever? You discuss all of that. Then maybe that was the time when the family of the lady should have come clean. Oh, we have... Yeah, Nana knew, you know, we have an 11-year-old son or something. This is who he is. Let the two families accept. Because for our culture, it's the two families actually marrying. It's not just the two individuals. Right. So at that point, so I begin to question the process of marriage now. Because people now, so no checks everybody is doing... Okay, I need to get married. I've set my date. We don't even need this person. We don't need that person. We don't need the process. All these things were set in place so that we can eliminate some of these things. And if you don't go through the right process, that's when you end up being alone in the marriage, because now you don't have anybody to go and tell. Right. Because when you were doing it, you didn't even get the support. So Made is now telling us how supportive her parents were of her. And there wasn't any way that she was going to deny her daughter at any point. Because if the daughter's grandparents are even proud of her and have accepted her, why should a man come and then because of that eliminate this child from the equation? So I think that we should visit the fundamentals of our processes of marriage. That's one. And then two, since you are in it right now, you can't deny your child. You need to come clean. It will hurt you. It will rock the foundation of this marriage. But then if it survives, then you can continue. Free, I think the best is to just say it.
Yeah, I think we're all pretty much saying the same thing. Dear lady, you're going to have to say it. You are going to have to. I know people who would die than rather deny their flesh and blood, but obviously you didn't do that, and I'm not blaming you for that. We're not in your shoes, and we don't know what you may have been going through at that time, but you're going to have to talk. And as some of the ladies have said already, live with the consequences. Absolutely. You know, and whatever happens, take it and move on. But you can't hide your child. You cannot. We'll go for a quick commercial break. It's Sister Sister on City TV and 97.3 City FM. We'll be right back.
Catch the best of Christmas entertainment this holiday season with these family movies from 24th to 30th of December. Holiday Baggage, Chilly Christmas, and A Husband for Christmas, right here on City TV.
To be loved, to be assured of presence, the warmth of family, food and drinks, especially during the festive season. isn't the reality for everyone. For some children, Christmas only brings back memories of pain, hunger, no celebration, and sadness. Let's share in the Christmas spirit and make it a memorable one for the needy children of some very deprived communities in the Greater Accra region that lack basic needs such as water, clothing, and toilet facilities. The City FM Foundation, through the Help a Christmas Child project, will spend time with the children of Samsam Udumasi on Boxing Day, 26 December 2018. Make this a memorable occasion for these children by donating from the kindness of your heart. Cash to mobile money number 0550-900-006. Soft drinks, biscuits, rice, oil, toys, books, party bags, candy, and more at the front desk of City FM behind the Adabraka police station, or call 0302 226-013 to find out more. Remember, it is up to you and I to give these needy children a joyous Christmas, which they will remember for years to come.
Hello there, welcome back. It's Sister Sister for those of you who may have tuned in late tuned in late actually, whether it's radio or TV. But it's still interactive. Our WhatsApp number is 054-998-6996. What would you have done if you were in the situation of any of the people who sent us messages on the show today? You can share your opinions on that. If you're tweeting at us on social media, you can use the hashtag Sister Sister and it will catch our attention as well. We'll probably end the show because I know we're almost at the tail end with this last message. And it says, "Hi, sister. My name is Kojo, and I find men attractive. Since I was a kid, I have never been attracted to the opposite sex. Now I've met a man of my dreams, but the problem is I don't know how to break the news to my family. Please help me."
Go first.
Why are you pushing
Made.
Well, I think that he should have broken the news of his sexuality to his family before trying to introduce the love of his life to his family. They need to get used to the fact that he's gay, rather than coming to say, "Oh, this is my boyfriend." Can you imagine?
Yeah.
You're not even giving them time to digest. I mean, you are who you are. You love who you love. I mean, me, I've got no problems with it. If you are, you are. But they need to accept that you are gay first, I think, before introducing, I think, a male partner. Because it's a lot to digest, and they're probably going to hold a lot against him. They're probably going to say, "Well, he turned you gay." And it's nothing like that. He's probably been like that since he was 9 or 10. And they just didn't even notice. And sometimes, I don't even get, sometimes you're with a male person or a female in your family, you live with a person, and you're telling us that you don't notice that the person doesn't like males or doesn't like females. He always brings around guys. He doesn't hardly brings around girls. That kind of thing. Like,
You're always telltale signs?
Yeah, I think so. Like, you know what straight guys normally do. So if he's not doing that, would you not question it? Well, you don't think so?
Well, usually they do, don't they? They call them Kojo Besia and whatnot.
Yeah,
but then if you are not a Kojo Besia,
yeah.
you see, it's not all the time that you show traits of a woman.
Yeah.
You're very masculine, you're everything, but you're just not attracted to the opposite sex. So if your association is skewed to one side, I think that it should tell. And that's when the parents or the guardian or whoever you're with should start asking you questions that will lead into a particular conversation that will make you comfortable and create that conducive environment for you to actually open up and talk. So it leads me to the point where how accepting families or our
Ghana,
culture, we still have very angry people who can lynch you, and
take you to some prayer camp.
Yes, and your families would not accept anything like that, especially, you see, we're from a very hypocritical society, and we have a lot of people who are quote and unquote religious. So we are from religious families. Most of our people are either elders or pastors or deaconesses or something. So you're bringing the name of your parents into disrepute if you toe a particular line. So because of that, it doesn't allow you to have certain conversations. Okay, I've ever asked myself before, if I found my son or my daughter leaning towards the same sex, what would I do? I pray it doesn't happen to me, but it doesn't mean that I won't have to deal with the situation. You see, and I think gradually that conversation has to be had in families. We need to open the circle more to actually say that, oh, what's up? I've seen you hang out with Kwesi, Kwabna. Don't you have any female friends? Oh, I prefer hanging out. Why not? Why? Are you attracted to them? Like, open the conversation. Make it such that your children are comfortable telling you that I saw Ekuya's boobs and I really wanted to touch them. And then it would raise an alert for you to actually either correct it if it's correct, like you can correct it, or you just be supportive, because at the end of the day you can't do anything if that is what it is. So for me, I just think that you should just brave it. Look for one person who you can reason with in the family, and sort of break it to the person
and let them help you break
and
it
let
to the
them
rest.
Yes, let's start from
let me hear from Olivia. We're running out of time.
So you see, I'm just wondering, it's Ghana, and do our courts and our churches, how are they going to get married? You see, every environment is different. In the US, yes, they have laws and stuff that actually encourage people to that actually help gays to get married. But this is Ghana. It's a different situation. It's a different setting. Our environment is different. Our society is not even accepting of the fact that you're gay. Religion, Christianity, everything, and what the Bible says about men marrying women and all of that. So how then do you proceed? He's the love of your life. So like personally, I don't think it's going to be accepted, especially in Ghana. It's not like I don't know. It's not like I have a gay family in the US. They're two girls. They're happily married. But you see, that's the US. Can you imagine the irony? She's gay. She's Jewish. She's married to a Christian. Oh wow! Their grandmother experienced Holocaust. Like it's a very dysfunctional, crazy family. But that's America, and it's very accepting. And she's very happily married to a Christian, and she's Jewish. But this is Ghana, and things are different. And so how do you move on from here? Personally, I feel that sometimes you can't get help. Sometimes it's a bit of like sexual orientation. You can't get help, like psychological help to make you like women. It's not going to be easy, but really, I don't see your way forward if you're going to be in Ghana like this. We're just not accepting. Yeah.
Can I just say one last thing?
We're out of time.
Oh, sorry.
I'm so sorry. We're going to have to end it here. But yes, keep your messages coming through, even if we're not able to read them on the show, because we're out of time. We'll start with them next week, okay? So thank you very much for watching Sister. Hope you enjoyed it. My name is Jessica. Been here with Made, Olivia, and Tina. We'll be back same time next week. Thanks for watching.